Hello, everyone, and welcome. We are the Red Devils Advocates. Andy here, joined by Akira, Sean, and Amrit for the first time. How is everyone doing?
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Make sure you follow us on Twitter at Red Devils Advoc and on Instagram RD Advocate to keep up to date with the latest news when it comes to Man United, from everything from press conferences, transfers, rumours, and results. Now, this was a week of some absolutely shocking results. I would love for Ty to have been on this one to see if he could get the team right in one. We lost to Sheffield United on a Wednesday, written by the devil himself. It was a calamitous day. Who wants to be first to talk about that hammer of a match?
I don't remember it.
It's like, yeah, I don't know what to think about it.
I have nothing else to say.
This is great content.
Where do we even begin unpacking what went wrong? There's just so much.
You guys always say that I am too mean. I think we should start the pod with a positive vibe because I ain't got nothing nice to say about this.
No, it's your time to shine, Sean.
All right, so they're all shit. They ain't worth the boots that they wear. None of them deserve to wear the badge. They should be gone. Send them to, I don't care what league. Send them to the French league because that's all they're good for.
Lock them up in jail in Greece.
Yeah, send everyone to the French league and then send Maguire to Greece because that's where he belongs.
So, this match, it took me like 3 days to actually watch it because I didn't want to put myself through the trauma, but then realized I have to because work, because this, I have to. I can't just say I didn't watch it because we lost, because no, that's a bit unprofessional. But I want to say that I looked up the name of the referee for this match, and I think his name is Peter Banks. Peter Banks, I think you should hand in your notice because you are absolutely dog shit. You are by far the worst referee I've ever seen referee a football match, and I've seen Mike Dean referee matches. So you are an absolute disgrace.
Andy, we've seen Howard Webb give one man 3 yellow cards. And he was a better referee than this Pratt.
100%. Howard Webb, he was a class referee. Some people like to say that he was biased towards a certain club in Manchester. I didn't see that personally. I don't see refs, so I don't understand what they were talking about. I think every decision Howard Webb made was fair. 3 yellow cards is a completely human mistake to make because sometimes you get the sport mixed up with basketball. Where you
Man said, I don't see refs, like he's saying I don't see colour.
But Peter Banks, what a wallad. Oh my God. So the players have their own share to accept and they'll get their flogging. But that ref was an absolute, I can't even use the words. He was an absolute idiot. How can he blow the whistle before Martial scores? So that he couldn't overturn his own decision. What an absolute mate.
I was on Twitter earlier today and I came across a word I haven't heard in years, and it's a great word. He's a pillock.
He is a pillock. That is an absolute word to describe. He was an absolute pillock. I don't know how we could give one end, give them the goal, and then us not. It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. Or at least call VAR, anything.
The thing is, though, the Sheffield goal, the man never looked at the ball. His eyes entirely on De Gea's back, and he purposely charged into him.
At least Maguire had his head was going in the direction of the ball.
Well, you could see, though, Maguire was actually staring at the ball. He had no idea that the goalkeeper was coming from behind him. The goalkeeper's clashed into Maguire, whereas on our side, the defender has purposely pushed
pushed.
He shoved him a good couple foot. Like, that is a foul.
In any other match, that's a foul. So for some reason, once against Man United, it's not a foul. It's fair play.
I want to claim we're Manchester United, but we really, really aren't, to be honest. That should have been at least a VAR check, 100%.
100%.
One of the professionals of the match, like who works with VAR, said that because the ball wasn't actually in the net, VAR weren't allowed to check it. Unless the ref directly calls after that, it's just VAR checking against a foul, which was already made. And they're not allowed to argue against a decision that is made by the ref unless the ref specifically asks it to, unless the ball has gone over the line. At which point then VAR can overturn whatever decision the ref has made. But he purposely blew the whistle the moment that he dropped, so the ball never goes in. And it's just like, he had such an agenda.
Need to find out who Peter supports. I bet he's a Liverpool fan.
Worse, he's going to be a City fan, isn't he?
I didn't know those people existed.
So, I'm sorry, what you're saying is you can foul someone as long as the ref's not looking, even if VAR catches it.
100%. You can literally put your studs into someone's chest. If the ref or the linesman don't see it, you're class.
It's like it doesn't exist. Yeah.
The way I would be teaming up with everyone, just distract the ref, yeah? I'm about to start windmilling them.
I'm about to start drop kicking these.
No, you can't bring VAR into it now. Like, these are your rules.
Over there.
I feel that, yeah, this is the worst officiating I've ever seen. It is a disgrace, and I think it just damages the reputation of the Premier League when you have stuff like this. The players not being protected, the goalkeeper not being protected. It is quite worrying. I don't know how you don't give that. I don't know how you don't see that.
That's what I was going to say. I have no idea how the ref couldn't see that. It was pretty much in his line of sight that he would have noticed that someone was practically hugging and barging De Gea out of the way.
Yeah. And yeah, it makes me think what VAR is even doing here then, because if that's not being checked for VAR.
Oh, no, that one did get checked. That got checked, and VAR agreed that it wasn't a foul. Which makes the foul against Martial or against Maguire like all the worse, because like technically that should be a penalty.
Yeah, it should be.
Like the keeper has gone in over the top of the defender and he's taken him out. So technically, that should be a penalty for Maguire. But instead, it's a foul on the keeper because clearly Maguire knew what he was doing, looking the other direction.
Maguire doesn't look back. We know that. Unless it's De Gea's there, he doesn't look. This guy does not look back. That's a fact.
In fact, you can actually argue the case that he is looking back at De Gea. His eyes are set on the man. He knows where our goalkeeper is.
Give him a cheeky
Like,
wink.
I've got this for you, De Gea. I've got this.
Oh god, and it just got worse from there. Not only does he disallow a goal from the rightful king, my boy Martial, he also I'm going to talk about the players now because at this point I can't blame the ref. Maguire,
As you will.
yeah. He scores the goal. Fair enough. He's done what we paid him 80 million to do. Okay.
Finally gets a header in.
Yeah, thanks, mate. And then
Leader of leaders.
And then, like a foot away from me, he tries to like pass it into his own net. Like you see De Gea even motioning. What the hell was that? What am I doing? Oh, you got me playing with these plebs. I think Maguire is instrumental in the second Sheffield United goal.
Yeah, I think there must have been like a breakdown of communication in that penalty box between our defence, because it just looked like no one knew what they were doing and no one was in the position they should be in. Everyone was either slow at tracking back or no one was tracking back. Someone needs to get like defense central centre back defense for dummies 101 for Maguire. He needs to go back to basics. Like,
what to quote the man himself? If you don't know the basics of football, you lose matches.
I don't know how he's made it this far. It just doesn't make sense.
He's made it this far on vibes. That's all it is. He had a couple good performances in the World Cup. And
maybe we rebrand to Vibe Chester United then instead. We just vibe. We're rolling on the vibes.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I've seen some people try to blame Twanzebe because of the deflection, but that is nonsense. You can't blame him for trying to stop the goal. It obviously bounces off him because the power is way too much. But you've got to look at where was the marking on the left flank, the left flank for us. I feel like Shaw might have done a better job there marking his man, and Tellers was kind of marking space. Maguire, the less said about him, the better, because he doesn't do anything to try and help after passing it back to De Gea. I mean, I'm sure he's trying to do his best Phil Jones impression because he is actively damaging our club.
No, I'm not going to lie. I would take Phil Jones over Maguire right now.
Whoa. I was just having PTSD of remembering our time with Phil Jones. Like, that man is, whoa.
Yeah, but Maguire. I feel like
Maguire is like 0.5% better than Phil Jones.
Either way, we're playing with 10 men. So
I was going to point out, I think Phil Jones' last match for us was against Sheffield United, and he got subbed off in 30 minutes or so because he was so crap.
No,
another player. I don't understand how he got to that flight of football. Like it doesn't even look like he's played five-a-side. You know what? No, Phil Jones is my Maguire. The less said about him, the better. He stresses me out.
That man is on the JSA on the bench. He's collecting it every week.
He's robbing a wage.
Oh, it's disgusting behaviour.
I mean, I can't lie. You know how like Robbie Savage is everywhere now, like commentating, punditry. Does anyone remember him as a player?
No.
Yeah. Phil Jones. Not good. No one knows how he's got into his position right now.
Oh, jeez.
And I wouldn't be surprised if we start hearing rumors of Maguire being displaced in the summer. I think until the end of the season, I think his position is safe. But I wouldn't put it past Ollie to pull a Klopp and be like, no, this guy's crap. I need a new one.
I really don't think Ollie sees it though.
He really doesn't.
I really don't. I can't see him going. Like, A, we've spent too much money on him. B, I think Ollie's got like some bondage with Maguire. Like I can't see it ending.
He's got a man crush on him.
MCM.
Mr. April does certain things for Ollie that no one else can see.
When you understand the basics, Sean.
When you understand the basics. Oh no.
Absolutely shocking, but a man I mentioned earlier also needs to be under the firing line. The man himself, I can't call him a legend right now, Martial. The work rate.
All the goals we've been wanting and not getting, and the one we get, it's like, not that one.
Not allowed that one.
Nope.
Can't have that.
Oh, my guy had the work rate of an absolute slug on Wednesday. Absolutely, I thought it was asleep at some certain points of that match. I could not believe my eyes.
It was.
Sure, sorry, Amrit, go ahead.
No, I was like, it's disgraceful. I was definitely 100% Martial FC, but I've long since retired my jersey, maybe from the beginning of this season, because he's just non-existent half the time. At least Rashford is running forward. He's making chances. Maybe he's got one too many movements in front of the net, but Martial's just like not even doing that. Like not even doing what a number 9 should be doing. I just losing faith.
I mean, yeah, it says a lot when you're the number 9 and you've been moved to the left wing again mid-season. It says it all. Yeah, I agree with you. I bought a lot of stocks in Martial FC. I bet my house on it. I've lost my house because of Martial. So I'm very worried. And I think we're going to have to look at getting a new striker. Cavani can't do it forever. Like, he had a very nice short burst, but now we're starting to see he's starting to get sucked into the averageness, which is United. And I think we need that new number 9.
They're bringing him down.
They did the
I
same
think
with
Cavani
also
just
at
takes over as like Sunday school teacher. Sorry, Cavani just does Sunday schools for the strikers and just teaches them what they should be doing. That'd be great. Like they need to learn off his experience because they're all still young.
Yeah.
I'll give them that. They're all still very young. Cavani's got that experience and the wisdom that we need. That's the same way I feel about Juan Mata. He's just experienced. He's got football intelligence, football knowledge. I think he just needs to teach. They need to do like Sunday schools for these kids.
I agree with that. Juan Mata is very good at keeping the shape. Just picking out the simple passes, whether they're 5 yards, 2 yards, or even 1 yard. He keeps possession better. He's a tricky little magician.
Exactly.
And he's just got a great name. Like Juan Mata. Well, how can you not smile after saying Juan Mata? He's a great talent, great prospect. And one could only hope that could we have had a better result if we played Juan Mata or Dan the Stallion?
Dan the Stallion. Oh, were we lacking pace on Wednesday? Were we lacking pace? Maybe a little bit, yeah. Maybe on the counter attack, but you'd need someone absolutely clinical up front. So it'd have to be him feeding. He'd have to be feeding the ball to like Cavani, maybe Rashford, maybe.
Yeah, Rashford's had a very hot and cold season, hasn't he? Like, there's been moments where he's been absolutely brilliant. He's been announced as the world's most valuable player at £150 million, and he's pulling some stunts that you're like, you're not even worth £10. What are you doing, son? What are you doing? We said it many times on the pod. When he doesn't have time to think, he's absolutely brilliant. He's got ultra instinct. Just boom, scores. Boom, the ball to Greenwood against Liverpool. But then when he has time to think, I think he just doubts himself.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, should I do this? No. Let me do this. I've lost the ball now. So it's.
Or he's looking to pass it when he should just be taking the shot. Just take the shot.
Oh,
I won't even be mad if he misses. Just take the shot. At least it's something on target, and we'll build on that. I'm happy with that. But for him to, he does his silly FIFA Street dribbles and step overs in front of the goal. And it's, you're in front of the goal. We've got just tap it in. Just tap it in. I cannot stand the fancy footwork when we're like it's 0-0 or a goal down. I have no time, no patience for these back kicks, these fancy footwork. I need a jammy, messy goal, like Fergie style. Just get the goals in, and then you can play beautiful football when we're about 3 goals up.
I 100% agree with that. I hate it when I see like flair, needless football. I can't remember if you guys. I don't know if you guys remember this. Dan James scored a goal against, I think it was Palace, and then he started celebrating like it was Cristiano Ronaldo scoring in the Champions League final. And then Rashford came to pull him back, and then Martial came to pull him back. And if you looked at Martial's face, boy, I thought he was gonna punch him right in the face. Like,
boy, what are you doing?
I like how they're both kids in their own right. I love how they just like, fam, what are you doing, son? What are you doing? We're losing still.
This isn't the comeback, not yet.
Any final words on the Sheffield United game before we move on to that one?
We need to get rid of our defensive coach. Replace him. I don't know what he's teaching them, but it's wrong. Completely wrong.
Kieran McKenna, you're shit.
He needs to go.
I don't know what Darren Fletcher's doing. Maybe he's ambitious with the coach. I don't know. But McKenna is supposedly the defensive coach.
He needs to answer for his crimes.
Boy. I don't know if anyone remembers the name of Jose's assistant coach, the defensive coach, when he was in charge. We need to get that man back. I think Rui Faria or something. We need to see if we can get him back, because when Jose was here, the football was boring, but we were a lot more disciplined at the back. Yeah. We come off the heels fresh of a 0-0 draw with Arsenal. And I feel this is what we would have got the other end if Pogba didn't give away a penalty. Any thoughts on this match?
Despicable behaviour. Lacazette is... he's an actor in the making. He is an absolute scumbag.
Man heard it was Oscars. It was on awards. Man heard that it was an award season and started like doing his like Oscar award-winning performances. I swear, I had an argument with my dad in the kitchen after the match because I did not watch. I said like my brother and dad bought Arsenal. They all watched football downstairs. I said I'm not watching it with you guys because that just sounds like a disaster waiting to happen. I went downstairs and it's like we'd watched 2 different games. I was like, Lacazette was doing Oscar award-winning performances out on that pitch. Like it was diabolical. And then he was like, "What about Maguire?" And I was like, I mean, okay, I can blame Maguire on some of those, but Maguire can't tackle. That's true. But
Yeah.
Lacazette was pulling like he was like his face was hurting when it hadn't been touched.
Listen, I don't care how much cake you think Pogba has. Yeah, if it hits you in the back of the head and you're going down holding your eyes and forehead, mate, that is...
Man got a concussion from Pogba's bum.
Send that man to the bakery because he ate too much.
Like that to be giving concussions.
I will say, Lacazette has a great future at the WWE. Vince McMahon is offering him a great contract because some of those dives and the acting was class, pure class.
He was flying it. The guy is he's built, how tall? He's not even that tall, is he? Like Lacazette's not the tallest of players.
I think
Just
he's about 5 now.
flying.
Yeah, me.
It just made me think of like a salmon like jumping upstream because it came out of fucking nowhere and just like arced across the screen. We're like, yeah, it's Lacazette. And then when they spent like a whole 5 minutes as he's lying on the floor trying to gain sympathy, playing fucking violin, we were like, you should have taken this man off ages ago. I literally couldn't give a fuck. Just roll him off the pitch. Let's carry on. No.
Yeah, he was an absolute troglodyte.
Abuya, and they didn't have Saka as well, and Tierney was off. So they were missing their vital players. So we were, if anything, we were lucky in that respect because Lacazette is like the rest of United. He is his only consistency is inconsistency. So we were lucky in that respect.
Yeah.
I watched an interview between Jamie Carragher and Roy Keane, and I agree with their sentiment of it sounds like United are scared to be in the position that they're in. A few months ago, when we were 13th, and everyone's like, "Oh, United are out of it," and then we slowly start creeping up the table, start winning matches. It's out of nowhere, we're first, and then the next question is, "Oh, do you think you can win the league?" And they look literally like a deer in the headlights, and they're like, "We don't think we can." Like we never expected to be here. We've made it here somehow. We don't know how it's happened. And then the moment it's actually set in that they are first and they are contenders, they're like, right, what can we do to mess this up?
What can we, it's the post Sir Alex Ferguson way. What can we do to make this completely and utterly difficult for ourselves? Like, how can we take the hardest route possible? Like, watch us. I'm going to say this very optimistically. Watch us go on a crazy good winning run in a couple of weeks' time after we've come out of this like dip. I mean, touch wood, pray to God. I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know why we can't just keep a bit of consistency in our performance. Like, I don't understand how we can go from, I don't know, the games we were playing towards the end of last year to what we're doing now. It just doesn't make sense at all. Like, are we the same team?
My only understanding really is their mental capacity, because obviously they have the skill. They've shown the skill for the last couple of weeks. They have the ability to beat Liverpool, to draw with City. Like we can do it. We were top. And the only difference between us playing then and us playing now is the fact that we were first. And maybe it is the mentality of them believing that they're not supposed to be there because they've been told for the last 6 years they're not supposed to be there. And it's really hitting home with them and they can't actually get past that mental wall and accept that they are good enough to be there. Whereas you have Ollie in the background being like, "Oh, you're great, lads. You can do it. I believe in you. Come on, Maguire." And then it's like when you have that as your cheerleading squad, you're like, this man's clearly on something.
This man cannot be this happy all the time. Like Ollie is, yeah, let's be honest, he is the nicest man. But sometimes I do want this guy to go for blood. Like when it's the City, the Liverpools, the Arsenals, any of the top 6, I want this man to go out and be like, "Look, everyone's getting hair dryers to the head if we don't wrap this up wrap this up quickly. But we have, like, on paper, we should have a top 14. We do have a top 14 on paper, but they just don't act like it on the pitch, in the games that really matter, because we've just got to grind out them results. That's how Sir Alex got to where he did. He's just grinding out the results, like getting the 1-0s. It's not the prettiest of football, but we grinded out the results. We got there. We racked up the points, and that's what we need. I need Ole to get a bit angry. I need him to go Hulk mode. A little bit. Just a little bit. I don't think I want to see the babyface assassin full Hulk mode. I think I would get scared, but just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't want to see him shaking hands and fist bumping people like as that after a draw where we really could have won that, because that match was literally anyone's game, and I know that's something that you could say about any 0-0 game or any draw, but it looks like it was quite end-to-end. Arsenal were trying to do the counter-attacking. We were given the ball. We had the possession, and we were trying to break Arsenal down, but they were very good with their man marking. They were very good with their press. But we still showed moments where we could have just put one away. Fred was very close to one of his shots. So was Fernandes. And we were having chances.
You're not going to mention a certain man, Andy?
I actually forgot Fernandes was playing.
Second half, I forgot Fernandes was playing. Yeah, I think
I didn't realize he was still there.
He just wasn't there in the second half at all. First half, I think we had it. I think it was ours, and we were looking good. We were looking sharp, making chances, pressing them. Second half, definitely Arsenal were all over it. Completely. It's like a completely different team came out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit mad as well, because I think Ollie forgot about Van der Beek, because
he's still warming up, right?
I even tweeted saying, "Is Van der Beek," like, after the match, after the final whistle had gone, I was like, "Is Van der Beek still warming up?" And someone had replied, "I think he might be warming up for the next game." Poor guy, I feel so bad. Van der Beek has been done dirty, because I think if he's given some time in our squad and given actual game time, he should be easily, at least when Fernandes needs rest, we need to rest Fernandes, etc., etc. We need some rotation in the midfield. He's there. We should be playing him. I don't know why we paid money to let him sit on the bench. And he's a good talent to have.
I was just going to say, and you both mentioned it, Fernandes was fading massively in the second half. We could have used Van der Beek for 45 minutes, even 30 minutes. So I think that was a wasted opportunity.
With players like Van der Beek, we have the history of squad depth and rotation. You need players like this to be in the squad. You need to have your second and even third team to be just as good as your first. They may not have the same flair, they may not have the same goal records, but if you can put a squad of your third team out and still guarantee wins, that's what United is supposed to be. Doesn't matter which player that you put out there, for namesake, put Jesse Lingard on the field. He should still be on the level where he's competing with Pogba. And because he's Jesse Lingard, they've kind of just pushed him to the side and just let his talents rot.
Yeah, that's a good point. That is a very good point.
I think this is why I get upset all the time. Every time we see the lineup, I'm like, oh, for God's sake, Maguire's there again. Because there are all of these perfectly good players that are not getting the amount of time that they should be getting. And if we're being realistic, Maguire should be at a certain standard. But if you're playing him all the time, he's not getting the rest. So he's not actually having time to rest and recuperate and actually get back to the level that he's supposed to be on. That's why Fernandes didn't make any difference. This man's running around all the time. At one time we saw him sitting down. It was like, yes, rest. We need you, but rest.
So Maguire is featured on the Man United podcast, and the tagline is "I'll rest when I retire." So that says it all about his mentality and what you can expect as long as he's a United player. He's going to play every minute of every match.
We're just going to have to accept it.
He is inevitable.
We're going to have to accept it.
God forbid.
We're going to have to accept it when he's in the tunnel and it's like, where's Maguire? Don't know. Quick, somebody else will make it.
Why did you annual leave today?
Yeah, he said he was feeling a bit up to the weather. Don't much coming. Don't worry about it.
He's got a holiday booked in Greece at the moment.
Yeah, we definitely need to like put a clause in his contract that he needs to take holiday during the season because otherwise he's just gonna sabotage us. Even talking about Sean's earlier point, which was very good, I think once this team wins a trophy, no matter how small it is, I think that will change everything. Whether it's the Carabao Cup, Europa League, or FA Cup, once we have a taste of silverware, this team will start to believe in themselves, and that is the most important thing for a team, for a squad, is to be able to turn off the critics, turn off the press and the fans, even when the time comes, and just perform. You know you're good enough to win. And I think we're all in agreement here. This is a top four club on paper. So this team has the skills to be up there fighting for the title every year. And I think just failing at every semi-final we've been in has affected the mindset a little bit. I think it's a fourth in a row now. So
Semi-final, yeah.
I think we need to get over that hurdle and win a trophy. I saw a stat somewhere that Martial and Rashford have never lost a semi-final pre-Ollie, and now we've lost 4 in a row. So I don't know whether the mentality is dripped down from the manager.
Well, it is though.
Answer for his crimes.
The mentality is you can't lose a final if you don't make it to the final, and it's definitely dripped down.
We've just got averageness everywhere, top to bottom.
I really like Ollie, but at the same time, he is so laid back. He's almost horizontal. It's like, you know, when you saw him and you saw Arteta, and Arteta was like, the way he was blinking really slowly. I was like, that man is angry. You can see the pain in his blinks.
Yeah, he's stressed.
And he was like just the pure energy. And then Ollie's just like in his jacket, like,
yeah,
no vibes.
To be fair, Ollie was standing up for this match because he's usually sat down with his legs crossed. So, I mean, he took it seriously. He was pacing up and down in his own little box, head down, looking at the grass. That is great managerial skills right there. You're looking to your manager, yeah, and he's just looking at the floor. What? Oh, man.
If you haven't seen anything else that happens and you just saw him sitting down, you'd think he was at like Crofts or something. Like,
I think he definitely needs to be a bit more vocal on the touchline. I don't know what his problem is, but he needs to be pointing, he needs to be shouting, talking to his players from minute 1 to minute 90. Arteta, well known for being the assistant to Pep. Pep, one of the greatest football managers ever. He is a genius when it comes to football. And if you have seen the All or Nothing for Man City, I haven't because I'm not going to support City in any way. But you can tell it's not an accident that he's won in Germany, he's won in Spain, and he's won in England. He is a dominant force. He is more or less single-handedly the reason why Man City is getting the respect that they're getting now. Because Mancini was there, Pellegrini were there, and they won things, but they weren't lasting forces like Pep is now.
I feel like the money has a lot to do with it as well, though, Andy.
Oh, I mean, absolutely, but Frank Lampard.
It's different kind of money.
No, Lampard got everyone he wanted. He had Mason Mount and he got Havertz. He had Tammy Abraham and he got Werner.
Think about it like this, though. City went and bought class. They went and got Aguero. They went and got Company. They went and got Yaya Toure. Legends of the game. Lampard went and got a man who's about to retire in a centre-back. Another random keeper.
To be fair, he's better than Kepa. He is much better than Kepa.
Oh, no, he is. But he has made some very, very questionable decisions.
oh dear.
A left back who's supposed to be the best left back in England, but then Shaw exists.
Yeah, he cannot come and front on Shaw's internet like this. Like, Shaw is doing bits this season.
So, yes, the money is there, but it's a different kind of money, Andy.
So, my counterpoint to that is, it's the same money, but Pep knows who he's buying, and Frank Lampard is just
class. You can't buy class in this life. Like, Pep knows. Like, Lampard didn't get that memo though. He just went out and it seems very. There's no thought process there. Whereas Pep, this man's a genius. He knows what to do with these players, and he knows exactly what he's doing.
Yeah.
Money doesn't account for taste. That's the thing.
100%. Yeah.
If I don't spend all my money this year, I'm not going to get an advance on next year. Whoever I can get, let's add these numbers
I'm
up there.
operating like a local council. I've got to spend all this money real quick. Doesn't matter what I'm spending it on. I need to spend it. It needs to be gone.
Oh, I mean, it just came off like Lampard was getting all these players from Football Manager or from FIFA. Like
he was
getting
Picking names like that. Like,
let's look at it. Let's look at it like this, yeah. Werner, team of the season. Thiago Silva, team of the season. Chilwell. Guess what? Kai Havertz. Oh, I'm seeing a pattern here.
Mate, Lampard has a burner and he pays attention to football Twitter because the amount of times I've heard Havertz is sick, all of a sudden he's at Chelsea. Frank Lampard is not an idiot, by the way. He's a very intelligent man. But
GCSEs don't make you intelligent, Andy.
Yeah, no, man. He had the money, but he did not have the taste. He did not have the class.
he spent all the money and didn't purchase any sense. So
Yeah. So I'm still saying like there is something to Pep Guardiola that makes him very, very important. He's brought prestige to Man City. He is never going to make Man City levels of Man United, but he has overtaken more or less every other Premier League club other than Liverpool because they've got pre-Prem history.
The only way Pep could overtake United in that sense is to rewrite history, and I don't know if man's skills are capable of time travel. But that's the only thing that we've got to get up against them is that we've got the history and the prestige. You can't just make that up. So
yeah,
but otherwise, football tactically, he's a genius. We can't front that. He knows what he's doing. And Arteta, at least, he is vocal. He's looks like he's involved in the game, whereas Ole looks like he shrinks away and starts just sulking if it's not the result he wants. See, I need him to go a little bit Hulk mode, just a little bit Hulk mode, a little bit of passion, a bit of anger out there.
I think it shows how your emotions can transfer to other people because he seems so laid back, and then you see certain players when they're playing, they're really passionate. If they've missed a goal, they're really upset, and then other players, it's just like, damn. And it's like, where is the passion? But it seems to have trickled down from him to the rest of them. Like when Rashford didn't make that shot, and was just like, well, there was nothing, no vim, no vigor.
There was a couple of times still
urgency, yeah.
Yeah, but
a couple of times
everyone saw it.
Playing FIFA Street in the box, yeah.
Everyone saw it.
I have rinsed everyone on this team. You think I'm not going to go after Sir Dr. Mister?
Full title.
He doesn't deserve the full title.
Every time he messes
he's
up,
a sham.
Title away.
Yeah. He just
just lose one of his titles.
Remember the MBE from the Queen and just started chilling out a bit. I might need it revoked. I might start get this MBE revoked. I need Rashford. I need Rashford back to being hungry.
No, do you know what? I'd be stressed too because after he did all the feeding the children, it was like Rashford for PM.
Yeah.
After that point, I'd be like, no, do you know what? I'm done. Yeah. Forget it.
No, he needs to focus on his day job first before he starts.
I get why he's tired. Why are you asking me for all this stuff?
You said that he's the leader of the opposition as well as a football player. It's a bit mad.
Feeder of children. All of this, doing BBC documentaries and things.
He's got 10 on his back. I'm sure he's got his sights set on 10 Downing Street. I hope he can keep it together on the pitch. I feel that in that match, I want to put a lot of praise on the wing backs. Luke Shaw and Wan-Bissaka did an amazing job going forward, coming back, defending, tracking back. We get a lot of stick for our left backs and our right backs being too scared, not going forward enough, all of that stuff. Luke Shaw has been having the run of his life. When we signed him from Southampton, this is what we saw, and I think this is the best patch of form we've seen him in. He is, for my money, the best left back in England. And if Gareth Southgate cannot see that, then that boy should leave as well. Like,
how old is Luke Shaw? Wait, did we ask? I thought maybe I've asked this. Like,
he's very young.
All players' heights and age. But Luke Shaw, he's not at the end of his career though.
He's like 24 or 25.
He's how long? What? He's how old?
He's 24 or 25. He's very.
Yeah, he's still.
Years
ahead.
We've got him very young.
No, Yeah, you just say his name this season, and I just smile. Like I just love watching him play this season. It's just fantastic. I don't know whether that's because there's been a fire put under his bum because Tellez is now on the bench. So if he has an off day, that's it. He'll be replaced. But no, he's just great. He's just amazing to watch as well. Just in making the decision making he's showing is great. He's getting in spaces where you can see the space where we haven't got. There's no defenders there. He's great, fantastic. All the runs. He's lost the weight. He's kept the weight off. It's great. Drop the routine, Luke Shaw. Drop the routine.
The thing is that the only reason he puts that weight on so often is because he's injured.
Yeah.
Like this is probably the longest spell that we've seen him not injured. Touch wood.
Touch wood.
And that's why we're able to say he's possibly the best left back because his form is just getting better and better because he's not injured. Like the man has spent I'm going to say a solid 3 years out of his 6-year career at United injured.
Yeah, out of injury. Yeah. I need the same for Bailly. I need that man wrapped in bubble wrap between matches and training. No injuries, because I think if he's given the same run, that guy could be, fantastic centre back.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is also plagued with.
I agree.
Then glass bones.
Yeah, I think Tellez has lit a fire under him. I think you're absolutely right there, and I think we need that for Wan-Bissaka. I don't think Brandon Williams is going to push him enough. I think we do need to get a backup right back, but they're both doing great. Aaron and Luke. For my money, Aaron is the best defensive right back in the league and possibly in the world. We saw Wan-Bissaka have a header, a free shot. Luke Shaw put some dangerous crosses in. One was perfectly put onto Rashford. I believe that was Luke. And he could have just hit that one time.
But
Couple drawbacks. Don't know what he was doing.
No idea.
I think he was scared to shoot. I think he was honestly scared to shoot.
It's like you can see it when you're watching him that he gets in front of that. He's got the opportunity, but he looks petrified to just tap it in.
Yeah. You could have walked it in.
Literally, walk it.
Put his laces on it, man.
Just apply it,
just walk the ball in for all I care. As long as it's in and we're getting the goals, I don't care. I will counter your Wan-Bissaka praises because that man is inconsistent too. He does make some stupid moves. Sometimes you do think this guy does not know the basics of football either. But when he does have a blinder, he has an absolute when he played against PSG. That was some of the best Aaron Wan-Bissaka that we have seen. But definitely played fantastic against Arsenal, but still question him sometimes.
No, I agree with that. I think there have been moments this season where I've just been like, Aaron, I've put stock in you, man. Don't let me down.
I've invested. Come on.
He did a very stupid mistake in the Arsenal match, and I can't remember what it was, but he saved himself like a minute after. So
clearing the ball. Clearing the ball with this defense. Yeah, didn't clear the ball. Then managed to make good of what he had scuffed up, and cleared the ball. Thank goodness.
I think he tried to boot it into his own net as well, just like the leader of leaders. But he very quickly just sorted out his mess, which is what you want to see from defenders. They're not going to get it right every single time, but how they cope under pressure, how they react to making a mistake is how you separate the good from the great.
Yeah, but you're never going to be a great if you're giving a 1-yard pass to your goalkeeper at full pelt.
The thing is, we're not going to remember Wan-Bissaka for that, hopefully. But we might remember Maguire for that. Because it led to a goal. Really quickly, who was everyone's man of the match against Arsenal? Because Gary Neville gave it to David Luiz. So, Amrit, who was your man of the match?
I might go for Wan-Bissaka. Just for his, let's say 99% of the time he was making the right decisions, saved us quite a few times. I can't really say that any of the midfield or I can't say the Pogbas, the Fernandes, anyone up front really did anything for me. Maybe if Rashford had put if Rashford had put those 2 goals in, he was sitters, easily man of the match. But I'm going to go Wan-Bissaka for basically making sure we came out without dropping points. without losing points. Sorry, at least we came with a point out of it.
Yeah. Sean?
I think I'm going to have to agree. I'm like proper rattling through like all the players, and it's a toss up between Wan-Bissaka and Lacazette because that performance
For God's
was.
sake.
give that man an Oscar. Give him I don't care. Give him all the awards.
The Oscar, the Emmy, vote him, give him the Grammy, the Oscar,
everything, yeah.
Tony, everything, all of them.
Right. No, I agree. Wan-Bissaka, he did mess up a couple times, including his silly yellow cards. But yeah, no, the double save that he made, literally, like he made an amazing double save and look back at the gear like, why are you even here?
Yeah,
That yellow shirt.
Yeah. Don't worry, David. I got this. Have a nap.
You just stand there, bro. I got this.
Yeah. And Akira.
I feel like I'm just going to go with Luke Shaw, and that's only because I feel like nobody else really made a good impression. Everyone was lacking, but Luke Shaw just gave us consistency. It's like how I always mentioned De Gea. I feel like I don't have to worry about him because right now he's been really responsible, and I'm like, oh yes, Luke, responsible. Old Faithful, isn't it? Like, yes.
Old Faithful, yes. We need
Like,
more of that.
We do. Just consistency.
Yeah, I think for me it's going to be Wan-Bissaka. It was very close. It's either Wan-Bissaka or Luke Shaw for me. Absolutely the stars of our team. I think Pogba, he just couldn't do it because he was being marked out. McTominay was garbage and he had a stomach cramp.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah. Yeah.
So he had too many hot wings before the match.
Apparently, he had a tummy ache and Fred like slapped him in the stomach. That's what I read on the timeline. That's what I read, but that would be hilarious. I wouldn't put it past it. It would be hilarious. Pogba in the first half was good. Like Pogba in the first half was making the passes, creating opportunities, etc. I don't know. It's just in the second half, everyone seemed to just slump. Everyone, like there was no one really putting in a stellar performance. The whole midfield and all the strikers, just nothing, just absolutely nothing in the second half. First half we had it and we should have wrapped it up by then. And then, parked the bus all second half. That's what we should have done.
Yeah, it makes you think about what that half-time talk was about because you should really be coming out like full of vigor.
Yeah, Arsenal came out looking for blood. They
Yeah.
were on it, like it was dangerous. Several times we were all sat thinking, "Oh God, they're going to do us over 1-0." But we just looked like we took the foot off the foot. We looked like we took the foot off the foot pedal, as if we were 3-0 up, but we were nowhere.
Yeah, it was like Akira said. Arteta was intense, staring at the match. He was not blinking because he wanted to take it all in. He knew exactly who was criticizing, in which minute, he was praising. He knew everything he was going to say at halftime. When Ollie's looking at the floor, when you're looking at the floor, you're not looking at the match. What are you going to be telling the players at halftime? Like, it doesn't make sense. And none of the assistant coaches are anywhere to be seen. They're all playing, I don't know, Animal Crossing. Like, it's just, but I'm going to talk about my man of the match, Wan-Bissaka. Great. He did do a bit of bonehead plays. That heavy pass to De Gea that was almost an own goal was a bit worrying. But the left winger, I think, of Arsenal had the ball and Wan-Bissaka immediately cleared it. So it's always like Aaron will make his mistakes, but he will clean up after them. Whereas Harry Maguire will make his mistakes and someone else will have to clean up after him. So
he'll have to get Lindelof or Bailly in there to help clear it out.
Exactly.
And if they can't get there in time, then they get the blame. Like, it wasn't Maguire's fault. He was nowhere near the situation.
He's already caused the situation.
Yeah, but he's out chilling on left wing. He's nowhere near it. So how can it be his fault?
I also need the commentators and the pundits to start respecting Shaw and Wan-Bissaka as well, because they're not getting enough praise, in my opinion. The praise is going to Fernandes, and it should be, but not when he's having games like today. Games like the last one. When he's dropping stinkers, he needs to be pulled up on that. So same as Cavani. Cavani's being let off massively because he's had some stinkers, and he's had to come in deep to get the ball, and then he loses it.
That's
So,
because he's not got that kind of talent anymore. Like
Mm.
years ago, back in like Napoli, you'd say, "Oh yeah, he can get the ball in deep, run down, whatever," because he had the pace and everything. Now he's a lot more of a poacher. He needs to be fed the ball,
He
and
needs to be fed the ball and just finish it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's what we need of him.
with whatever's going on between him and Rashford does not like giving Cavani the ball, and then Rashford, when he keeps the ball because he's not giving it to Cavani, starts playing FIFA Street.
That's the
Like,
problem. I need Rashford to stop feeding the kids and start feeding Cavani the ball.
And then you have Martial on the other side, who's twiddling his thumbs, and then Greenwood's just slopping down the stairs like he doesn't want to be there. Like, what's going on with our forwards?
oh yeah, what was that match? It was in Liverpool when he was coming down the stairs.
Liverpool, he looked like he'd been told off and told to go on. Go
Like-
dance, go do
Yeah.
something.
You're dance for your auntie. Come on. Yeah, he just did not want to be there. I will say, when Greenwood came on, he looked very lively. He looked like the most likely to score. He was being unselfish with the ball, which no one's gonna say. But yeah, he was trying to set people up, helping people. Martial definitely needs to be on edge because he wasn't even the best winger in the game. Martinelli made him look like an amateur. We saw our players have the ball outside the Arsenal box. Martinelli sprinting back. He wasn't in shot when the ball was passed, and he somehow made the clearance. And I was like, Martial, you need to be watching his game. And he wasn't, because there was several times where he wasn't tracking back. For some reason, he thought it was the number 9, and he was in Cavani's space. And they both went for the same ball, missing it. It was just a mess from Anthony. And yeah, like, he needs to be pelted for that. I've defended him long enough. I've held Sean back for long enough. And now I can't defend him. Like, I'm just gonna be like, nah, man, Sean, have him. Like, he's letting me down. He's letting everyone down.
He's shown us nothing of any sort of like positivity, any optimism. This season, like, been a total write-off. I think it was post lockdown when we came back and we were on that great run that he was doing bits. But since then, nothing. I can't. Yeah, I'm taking all my stocks out of Martial FC. Well, I had done, but it's official now.
Yeah, take him out, man. Take him out. Yeah.
Take him out. Invest in Luke Shaw FC.
Yes, Luke Shaw FC.
Stable, good stock.
He's definitely my shout for United Player of the Year so far. Fernandes is second, but yeah, Luke Shaw right now is the guy.
Because just consistency that we love to see. I'm a little bit concerned if Martial is more of like a short distance runner, so he has great bursts of energy and then that's it. And then it'll peak again and it will go down. Like, that's
Maybe.
Then obviously they need to be chopping and changing with a lot of these different players if that's what he's got. Because if that's his strength is for like a small amount of time to be really good, bring him out and then put him back on the bench. But
oh yeah, let him be a super sub. Yeah,
there's no shame in that. Our manager was a super sub.
Yeah, exactly.
He's one of the
I
best.
honestly use the players' talents, as they should be. Maybe Martial becomes a super sub, and that's how we see him shine instead of him doing the flogging out the 90 minutes. But our wondrous leader just loves the 80th minute for a substitution, and I don't understand how he thinks 10 minutes is enough for a player to make a complete turn. Like, okay, Ole, you was a super sub back in your day, yeah, but you had some time to make those fucking super sub moments. Like, it was like the last 5 minutes of the game that you think we're going to bang into 4 goals.
The thing is, I'm sure I've seen him on an interview say, I hated having 10 minutes as a sub. I liked having 30 minutes because that was enough time to change the game. Yeah. He said that himself. So why is he now doing that?
If we're 3 goals up and we're looking to the home stretch is there, then yeah, fine, make the 80th minute sub. But if we're not scored a goal, everyone's looking a little bit haggard, and we don't look like anything. No one is inspiring any moments of like greatness. Take someone off, make some rotation, get some fresh legs out there. Van der Beek could have come on for Pogba or Fernandes, maybe maybe Fernandes. Who else could we have had? Martial came on. I don't know. We
could have taken off Pogba for Dan the Stallion.
Dan Alien, yeah. To be fair though, Dan James would have probably been able to run, give the Arsenal defence a good run at least. He's got the pace, he would. Maybe in the 80th, not in the 80th minute, but earlier than that, he would have made a bit more of an impact. Yeah, even if it was just running and feeding Cavani the ball, that's all we needed. Because Cavani did look like he was like there were. At least two moments where Cavani, the ball looked like it was going in, but it was, margins, slight angle difference that needed.
Fine margins.
Yeah, but that's like the difference I saw between Cavani and Rashford, where Cavani is making these shots. Obviously, he's missing. This man is upset. He's genuinely upset. Rashford is just like,
we go again.
I have another 10 years of my career.
What are you gonna do?
Later.
Not if you get demoted, hon. Then you're sitting on the bench for most of the matches. What you gonna do? Besides be a seat warmer,
yeah.
I don't know. He needs to find that fire that he's got. He doesn't have to be PM. He just has to score goals.
Yeah, I need him to focus on his day job. Side hustle second, please. I need you to focus on his day job. Once you've got the day job locked and you're banging in goals week in, week out, run for PM. I'll even vote for him. I don't mind. It's not a problem. 10 Downing Street is his, but please just, bang the goals in first, please. Consistency first.
If you look at some of the scummier players in football, you look at the Ryan Giggs, you look at the John Terrys, you look at the Wayne Rooneys. Yeah, they do just outrageous,
sex scandal.
Just outrageous things. Yeah, outside off the pitch, and you're like, you know what? I forgive you because you're doing your job.
Yeah, right.
It's immoral, not illegal, so that's why we can let it.
The more recent stuff for Ryan Giggs is a bit mad.
Okay, well I don't know about that, but what I do know was immoral.
But I could forget that they have done these things, these immoral things outside of the pitch because they were great players. Exactly.
That is my point. That was the point I was making.
Okay, let's talk about next week's fixtures. On Tuesday, we are home to Southampton. Really quickly, do you see a win in the cards, Sean?
No.
No, man, come on. Are you predicting a Southampton win or a draw?
No, a draw. A draw.
I hate this part of the show, man. You do this every time.
No, I don't. Because when I predict that we win, we end up losing to Sheffield United.
We end up losing sitters that should be, the worst team in the league, and we end up losing to you can't make this stuff up.
I said after the way City dealt with West Brom, we were going to go in there and smack Sheffield United 3-0. Look at what happened. I'm not predicting wins anymore.
Fair enough. Akira, are we beating Southampton?
No. I feel the same way as Sean. Every time I'm like, we're going to win, I always get disappointed. But if I'm neutral, you can't disappoint me. So,
are you predicting a draw then?
I will say a draw. I'm not saying we're going to lose, but I'd say a draw if we give another performance like we did yesterday.
Amrit?
I can't see a mentality shift turn around that quick. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the rest. I mean, when you put that poll up, I'm gonna vote. Of course, I'm gonna be like, United win. We're gonna do this, no problem. But the reality is, I think it's a draw. Yeah, it's gonna be another 0-0. Find out. I just don't see our mentality changing that quick. Like I see them doing the exact same thing we've just done against Arsenal, but against Southampton. Yeah.
Unless they have a real shuffle with like the lineup, we might see something different. But I'm not expecting much.
Maguire's going to be there. Fernandes going to be there. Rashford's going to be there. It's going to be the same three, and quite frankly, they're doing nothing over the last couple of matches.
Yeah.
So.
What was it you said about Maguire starting?
Ugh, 3 certainties in life, innit? Taxes, death, and Maguire fucking starting.
Yeah. He's sure to start. I'm going to predict a win because I'm hopeful. I'm going to be the positive beacon of light in the Red Devils advocate. I'm going to be Devils advocate and say we're going to win We're gonna beat Southampton 3-2.
I hope we flog
3-2. You even see them
3-2.
netting 2 goals. Why?
Yeah, we're going to be 2-0 down. We're going to have a comeback in the last 10 minutes when he brings on that super sub.
Strike again.
Yep.
See, this is what I'm saying. We need to go a goal down, and then United gets activated, and we're just like second
Yeah.
half FC's like a blinding performance. But I don't want to see us go a goal down because I can't say with absolute certainty that we will make a comeback.
Amrit, we went a goal down against Sheffield. They didn't turn on.
Yeah, it didn't activate. Midweek, it just doesn't activate. That's why it doesn't work midweek.
So yeah, I think we're gonna go 2-0 down in the first half, and then the report's gonna come out that Nagelsmann is gonna replace Ollie by the next week, and then they're gonna magically pick up their tools. Martial, Rashford, Cavani, goals, vibes.
I can't wait to see it.
I don't believe what I'm saying because I've just seen that we're home. So
Yeah, exactly. We can't play without a crowd at Old Trafford.
We are home for the next 3 matches.
yeah,
Uh-oh.
that brings us to Everton, which will also be at OT. We beat Everton quite convincingly away. Let's go with Akira first this time. Do you think we're beating Everton?
It's really hard not to be negative. So I hope that we will win because we'll have shuffled the lineup for the next match and they'll have some vim and vigor. I'm trying to be hopeful.
A cheeky 1-0.
A cheeky one.
Cheeky
That's
1-0.
all I want. 1-0. We will sing praises. I will shout it from the roof like 1-0.
That's good. Some positivity. Finally. Amrit?
I will say, a shameless 1-0 would be great against Everton or Southampton. Either one of them, a shameless 1-0 win against one of them would be great. It's those results that we need to grind out to stay in top 4. So, if we draw against Southampton, win needed against Everton. But if we also win against Southampton, it'd be great.
So,
I'm going to say pessimistic until proven otherwise. That's going to be my start for United. I'm a pessimist until proven otherwise. My dad knows I do this every time we're playing at the weekend. I'm just like, we're gonna lose. I don't know why I'm even bothering watching this. We're gonna lose. We bang out a result. So I'm going to say that's it. No more. I'm a pessimist until proven otherwise.
that's fair. So Sean started smiling when you started speaking, and my heart just sank because with Ollie, you get worried when he's not smiling. With Sean, you get worried when he starts smiling. So Sean, let's have it. What's your prediction for United Everton?
2-0 Everton.
I knew it! Inside man. Hashtag Sean out. I knew it was happening. I recognized that smile.
Sean is the true devil's advocate. Sean is the one doing devil's advocate.
Oh,
We're on phony. Sean is the only one.
The brand got named because I was being a bit of a dickhead. And rightly so. So I'm sticking with my 2-0 Everton.
God's sake, man. Well, you are living up to the brand. On brand, Devil's Advocate, Red Devil's Advocate. He's in red. He is Park Devil. I'm going to go with a cheeky 1-0 win because we're at home and we're garbage at home. We're undefeated away for over a year now in the league. But at home, that result is awful. Just remember when Tottenham spanked us 6-1, I think that Everton are going to put on a much better face, much better team. I think we still have the players to beat them, though. I know they've got great players, but I think our players are better. And as long as Ollie can look up from the grass and actually look at his players on the pitch, I think we'll have the mentality and fortitude to just see it out. We only need a cheeky 1-0. Sir Alex used to do it all the time.
Ollie is not Sir Alex.
He will never be Sir Alex.
Never.
That man's a god. No one on Rihanna's internet can talk. Alex Ferguson is he's god. Everyone's the people's grandfather. You can't beat him. You cannot beat him.
like, yeah, even the greats like Klopp and Pep, I don't think over 20 years they would have the success that Sir Alex did, and that's what makes him number one.
Was it only 20 years? I think it was longer.
No, it was 26, I think 27.
Okay.
But
Jeez.
So he was around for a long time.
I mean, he was around before a lot of us were born, so yeah, he had a lot of dominance, and I think that is what makes him truly special. He's lived through different eras. He had to rebuild a team at least twice. So, did anyone have any final things that they wanted to get off their chest? Sean, I heard you wanted to do a little game.
Oh, yeah. So, just to shine a light on how good our players actually are, I wanted to just ask you guys if you remember some of the older players from our generation. So, just give just a little example, like the Danny Welbecks, the Kieran Richardsons, the Orbertons.
Oh, I remember.
Because like everyone is constantly shitting on United, including myself. But my kind of shitting on is coming from a place of love and frustration, whereas they're just being cretins. But like, if we can win a league with, you think of like Darren Gibson, you think of like he was a decent defender, but like John O'Shea, Wes Brown, how are we not winning with this side?
Yeah, it's mad. We've had some proper crap players, you know.
We have.
Stinkers.
That makes me think of Sir Alex being the council. Like, I've got to spend this money now, or I'm not getting a transfer budget
Or
next
they're not
season.
giving me money.
Overton, you're up. Bebe, get in there. Makeda, go on, son. Like,
Anderson.
Anderson, yeah. He was vibes. He was the original vibes player. He had no skill.
Yes.
No skill, just vibes.
Yes.
He just ran around.
Anderson was the OG of vibes. Yes, man, dropped a paycheck and just he achieved on vibes alone. Oh,
He ran around in his
What an
corner room doing
inspiration.
nothing.
I swear for the first couple months at United, he was actually living out of other players' houses as well.
Really?
I can't remember if I'm sure it was him and Nani when they first got there. They were living with Ronaldo,
Oh,
and then they moved out into. I think Anderson then went in with Nani, and then he then got his own place after.
oh my goodness.
wow.
I thought you were just like he's hopping around saving his paycheck, like not buying his own house.
He's doing like a true millennial. Yeah, I'm saving coins. Don't worry, I'm gonna move out. I'm gonna move out. I'm gonna get my own place. I'm saving. It's going in savings.
2 years later. Yeah.
You still on the sofa, mate.
So like another few players like Roy Carroll.
I remember that name.
You should remember that name. He was the biggest scumbag in goal that we have ever had. I think we went from like Barthez to Howard to Roy Carroll
Yes.
to Kuzak, Foster, Van der Sar.
Oh, God bless Van der Sar. What a man.
Bless Van der Sar.
What a man.
Roy Carroll. Oh, that stint in the early 2000s. Oh,
Was he the one that had a really bad performance in one of the cups?
more than likely.
Yeah.
All of his
Sounds
performances
about
were
right.
bad.
We had a keeper. I can't remember his name. We had a keeper in like the FA Cup or something, and he made like 2 howlers. And then Sir Alex was like, "Yeah, that's your last match. You're done, son."
That's more than likely him.
Okay.
That's more than likely him. Because Kuzak and Foster were still getting played in between cups around Van
Yeah.
der Sar.
Which was decent
Well,
from what I remember.
And Barthez got swiftly replaced with Tim Howard, who, to be fair, he wasn't a terrible keeper. But he was massively underrated at United, even though he did have a few stinky performances. But then the intimate of Roy Carroll stepping in, oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Yeah, so can you guys think of any of our trash bag players that we've still won leagues with?
Fletcher.
See, I don't think he was that trash bag.
I don't think he was that bad. Yeah, I don't.
Like he wasn't one of the best ones, but he wasn't an Orbiton. He wasn't
No. Yeah.
he wasn't a Hargreaves.
Hargreaves! Oh my!
Oh,
Hey, Hargreaves was a player that I backed only because he wore a red shirt. That guy, mate, he was bad.
He was out and out stinking up the joint.
Awful.
He wasn't Gabriel Hines versus Kaka. The man literally gave him the ball. This is Kaka. He's like, we're winning this match. Don't think Kaka's much of a threat, you know. I've had him in my pocket all match. Let's give him the ball, see what we can do.
I remember Januzaj, he was decent though for a bit, and then he just faded out.
Yeah.
I think you could have said the same about Makeda in the first couple matches where he just popped away goals. The Giuseppe Rossi.
Okay.
I don't remember him.
Exactly. So many. He was. I think he was the first one I said.
Yeah. John O'Shea I thought he was quite good. Like, he wasn't like world class, but I thought he was really good.
So he was an amazing secondary goalkeeper. Top notch. But the amount of own goals that him and Wes Brown put in between them was fucking ridiculous.
That was ridiculous.
But yeah, Wes Brown was carried big time.
Massively.
Big time. So
Again,
I always
he had a red shirt on, therefore I supported him, but God, he had some stinking performances.
I always respected Raphael. I never respected Fabio. I thought it was an utter donut.
Fabio was the next level of irons. Man is out there rugby tackling people.
Oh my!
If I'm remembering this correctly, in Europe as well.
Oh yeah, he got one of the maddest red cards in Europe. I can't remember what the tackle was.
Mate, he was chasing the man on all fours. He went down for the tackle, was like, oh, I've missed. Started chasing man on all fours and was like, hey, you're mine now.
Mate, you've never been hungry. That's how people play football when they're hungry for the fame, hungry for the glory. Fabio, oh man. Nah, he was shocking. Raphael had a bit of discipline about him.
Yeah.
He was a wild man. He was wild. I know Sir Alex only got him because he could get 2 for 1. That guy, oh man, Fabio frustrated me.
There was evil twin. You know, which. I also just like his vibes on social media now as well, Raphael. So I like he's in the good books.
Yeah, Evra was a legend, but he's a bit mad now, licking chickens and stuff.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, he licked a raw chicken.
Oh, you said licking. Oh God.
My man's game is mad.
Gary Neville's all right.
The thing is, I feel like Neville was carried as well. Neville and Brown were carried for all of those titles.
Yeah, like Gary Neville was been eclipsed many times by right backs. Like I thought it was okay, but not the way Sky Sports hype him up.
Another one, Alan Smith. Like he banged away a couple goals, but the man was the original Phil Jones. No. Literally just on the bench.
I can't think of any more garbage United players that were just carried. Can you?
We've already spoken about Phil Jones earlier, so I feel nothing else.
Does he have a Premier League title?
He does.
He does.
Oh my God!
He definitely does. Him, Smalling's another one. He had one good season. One singular good season.
That's a bit mad. Phil Jones technically has more Premier League titles than Pogba. That's sick, you know.
That makes me want to vomit blood. Like
this is why
I can't even fathom.
What I said earlier is justified. Yeah, I'd rather have Phil Jones than Maguire right now. Yeah. At least one man has a Premiership title.
I'm just going on accolades. Yeah, but that's him. That's him. Like going. You know, when you put on your CV, I am like 10 out of 10 on Excel, and then you get to the job and you're like, I don't actually know how to make an equation. That's what Phil Jones is doing. I'm saying, like, I won a Premier League title, but I can't defend to save my life.
You talk about Fabio defending on all fours. How many times have we seen Phil Jones on all fours trying to head the ball and miss?
So many times. He's so bad. He's so bad.
He's going to be remembered for his faces more than his skill. I'm not going to lie. I think that's all. Unless you got some more, Sean.
I can't think of any right now, but yeah.
On
Well,
that bombshell.
well, if you're watching or listening to this podcast and you remember any crappy United players, of course, there might have been some before our time that you remember. Please drop them in the comments. Let us know. Hit us up on Twitter at Red Devils Advoc or Instagram RD Advocate. And we'd like to thank you for listening, watching, consuming this podcast, your weekly joy, and our therapy session, really. Hopefully, next week is a bit more positive and we have more than 1 point. But until then, please take care, stay safe, and we'll catch you in the next one.